We were talking a little about who your landlord is. We were talked about how when you sell a house or a piece of land, you can't go back and tell the new owner what to do with it. It would be quite foolish to go in and tell them how to paint the house and how to change the house. And yet we do this every day with God. You know, Jesus purchased us with a great price. And even though we don't realize it, many times we really don't realize it. We try to tell God how to train us and how to raise us, a little bit like our children trying to tell us how to raise them up. They would love to be able to eat candy and play all day and be on videos all day, but we have to say no, and we have to say limit. We have to say maybe later, and we have to get them involved outside and get them doing other things, because if we don't, they end up raising their self, and they don't do such a pretty good job because, number one, they have no wisdom and no knowledge of the world, and so they end up floundering when they do get grown. And it's the same with us, with the Lord. We must know that because God was able to create all things by the spoken word, and He created us, forming us and fashioning us from clay, that to be sure He knows what is best for us in every avenue. And the quicker that we can learn to let ourselves be trusted into His hands, the quicker that we'll grow up. Used to have a swimming pool, and I had a lady come over one time, and she had I guess this little girl was about 3.5 years old. And she was standing on the side, and she wanted to come in the water. Her mother was talking and very occupied doing other things, and I was standing there. So I just clapped my hands and did this, and she just flung herself off the side of the pool into my arms. And I let her, part of her, get wet, and jumped up, and she grabbed me, and I put her back up on the side. And it didn't take but about 2 or 3 times that if you weren't watching her, she was just going to lunge, and you better be catching her, because she was not going to wait to see if you were ready. And this is what we have to do with God. We've just got to jump off the side and know that He's going to catch us in His capable hands, and He's going to get us ready for this life, and ready to serve Him and do what He's called us to do. So be patient with yourself, but also in the same respect, we have to learn to just kind of let go and just fall in His arms and let Him do it. So, who is your landlord? Who's in control of your life? Too many times we give friends, teachers, pastors, job bosses, neighbors, well-intended friends who think that they know everything that's about your life that's better than you do and better than God does. And trust me, my friends, God knows the best. You know you second best. Your spouse probably third best. And this is the way it should be. But by all means, do a little bit of a self-searching today. If you get some time, just ask yourself, who really is in control here? Who is my landlord? Excuse me. I want to make just a short note here. These videos are not going to be perfect. They're not intended to be perfect. I want you to feel like you're sitting in my house talking to me. I don't want to be untouchable. I don't want to be unapproachable. And I don't want you to feel like you're watching something professional. I want you to understand that I'm just like you. I'm going through things. Every day is a challenge. And the older you get in the Lord and the more you know of the Lord, the more God will challenge you, because He can trust you. You know, so never think that your superiors, your pastor, your teachers are perfect, because none of us are. So I don't want these videos perfect either. You're in my home. This is my artwork behind me, my backyard. You know, I want you to hear the cicadas squealing in my ears. You know, this is just real life. And I want these videos to be that too. So, now, what is the first thing that must take place after you've remove the debris out of your new plot of land that you've chosen to make a garden from. What is the next thing you do? You have to break this ground. And if it's hard and baked from years and years of neglect, then it's not going to be an easy thing to do. Here in America, I don't know about other nations, and I'm hoping that these videos are going to go beyond America, that we have what's called big tractors with great big cutting discs, and they're very sharp. They're blades that cut deep into the soil as they rotate. And some of them are turned this way and some this way, so that when they cut through the soil, say this is the soil, and it cuts through, it's going to turn that soil as it goes and turn it over. It's just going to flip it, flip it, you know. And as it does so, it turns the soil over. And I found that I was thinking one day, if because I liken myself to a garden, when God comes with a new plow, especially years back when I had nobody to explain what was going on in my life, all of a sudden I was reading the Word and I was studying the Word. I was going to church 2, 3, and 4, and 5 times a week, keeping my kids in Sunday school and keeping myself active in the church and all that and all that. And it was quite a beautiful time, but all of a sudden all hell would break loose and I wouldn't understand why. Because the cutting away is painful. I don't care how sharp the blade is. Some of the harshest cuts that you'll ever, the most hurtful, is a paper cut. And it's just a tiny cut, but it is so painful. And it's usually on the end of your finger where all your nerves are, and every time you touch it, it's like, oh my goodness. Or a hangnail, something around here where every time you look at it, it hurts. Swells up, gets sore, you know, and it's not pleasant at all. So if you can imagine yourself lay as earth, and here comes this tractor, what would your response be? Well, this is what my response would have been. Wait, what do you think you're doing? You're not cutting me up. Don't move that rock. It's been there since the dawn of time. I need that rock. It tells a story about my life. That rock is very important. Wait a minute, wait a minute. It adds character. Those are weeds? What? I thought they were flowers. I like those. They smell nice. They look good. Are you sure they're weeds? Well, do you have to cut so deep? Can you just kind of cut a little bit, you know? Hello, can we talk about this? Are you sure that the owner sent you? What are you doing? You're trying to wreck the place. Help, can anyone hear me? Does no one see that I'm being ripped apart? What? Look over there. Don't you see this land over there that might be a better plot to put your garden? I'm not very good soil. I can't take this. I won't take this. This can't be the owner's plan. Now that might sound very silly to you, but if earth could talk, maybe it would be crying and squealing like we do when God puts his hand to us to break us, because truly, brothers and sisters, we're no good to him as is. He will only take those that he can break and refashion and make like himself. If you're unteachable, if you're unbreakable, then you're going to go through a very difficult Christian walk. The faster that you can learn to yield in the hand of the Master, the faster that you can learn that when he comes with the plow, it's for your benefit. It is going to increase you. It's going to make you more alert and more aware. It's going to get rid of these things that are offensive to God, not man. We're not discussing what offends man, because everything offends man. But if you just be patient and let God have his perfect work, you know, because God needs to plant seeds into your life. And if your heart is so hard that he can't put seeds of love there, or joy, or kindness, maybe understanding, then you're not going to be of any good to him. And I want to just take a moment here. We get into these little boxes. We want to put God in a box. Little box. And if it fits inside this box, it's good. And anything on the outside the box is not good. And we do this. And we fill it full of, we let God fill this little box. That's all we got, this little God box. And we're going to put in this little God box. I don't know if I can tilt this so you can see this. We've got all these beautiful little shinies. Can you see them? These are gemstones. Now these are man-made gemstones. And they tell me when I bought them that they're just as good as the ones that have been in the dirt for thousands and millions and billions of years, which is, to me, totally not true. If man made it, it's man-made. And it might be very nice, and it might be very lovely, and the color might be great, but it's not the real deal. And the thing that you want to do is be the real deal. You don't want to be a fake gemstone. You don't want to be the kind of a Christian that looks good on the outside, that does all the right things when everybody's looking, and then behind closed doors, you're hell on wheels. This is not what God intends for us. The work that He wants to do must be from the inside out. The work that He has to do has very little to do with our outside appearances and our outside ways, but He has to do an inner work that is a lasting work. Nobody ever sees the time, the pressure, the elements that take place to create a diamond. You can see the coal, and you can see the diamond. And it's like another analogy would be the cocoon. When the caterpillar goes inside of the cocoon, it's none of your business what goes on inside of that cocoon. Because if you tear away the webbing, you'll kill the butterfly before it's metamorphosed from that caterpillar into that butterfly. So it hides. You can't. Very seldom will you ever find a caterpillar, a butterfly cocoon anywhere, because they hide. Because we would have to see what's inside. We are so nosy. And we do this to Christians. We want to pull the web off of them and start creating, recreating, and fussing at them and telling them they can't do this and they can't do that. You know, if you got a tongue ring, or you got a piercing, or you've got, you might not wear your jeans the way I wear my jeans. That's not Christianity. That's man pulling puppet master strings, making you puppets. The real deal is in the deep part of the cave, where pressure and time and everything right, the temperature, everything is right, and the pressure is what creates a true gemstone. Pressure. And trust me, God knows how to lay it on you. Pressure, it's all about pressure. So when the pressure comes, you've got to know it's God. Don't give it to the devil. He doesn't care. He could care less whether you're grown. If you're under pressure, the enemy comes and taunts you about it. But that pressure is coming from God, my brothers and sisters. Because through pressure is how you become that fine gemstone. No amount of man-made anything. You can read every book on hop, skip, and a jump, how to get to heaven quick in a hop, skip, and a jump, how to avoid all the pitfalls. There is no fast way. When God does it, He does it thoroughly, and He will take His time, because He wants it to be a true gem, not a fake. Get God outside of your box. Not everything can fit in here. Increase it. When this one's full, increase it. When this one's full, increase it. Little by little. The Bible says, line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. So first, my brothers and sisters, be patient with yourself, because Christianity is not instant. It's not having it your way. It's not McDonald's. It's not fast food. It's not instant. It's not internet. It's not any of that. God's going to do it the old-fashioned way. Pressure and time. Pressure and time. If you truly want to know what's in somebody's heart, watch them when they're under pressure, and you'll see what really is inside of them. Now, I did not say that to condemn anybody, but we have to understand that pressure is when you see the true person. And I have to say, I'm not always good under pressure. I'm very explosive sometimes. And I'm better than I was. I only explode maybe once or twice a year now, where I used to explode once, twice, 3 times, 10 times a day. So I'm getting there, but I'm not finished because I'm still here. You have a blessed day. This was part 2. We'll go to part 3. Have a great day. God bless. Bye.